What's going on, guys? How are you? Today we're in the M5, as you can see, and today I want to do a quick little video specifically pertaining to the short shift kit, new clutch, the new flywheel, the new shift knob that I did in my E39 M5. So if you guys didn't already know, if you're following the channel, hopefully you did catch the video of me doing the F10 M5 shift knob in my E39 M5. Of course, some guys, right off the bat will be a little bit upset that I put a non-E39 M5 part in my car. But to be honest with you guys, I had the wood shifter and it was extremely tall, and the F10 M5 shift knob is sort of, in my opinion, the default for changing your shifter to something that is not the original. Of course it is BMW OEM, however it is not the original parts that came with the car. So some guys are a little upset by that, but to be honest with you guys, I think it's proper in this car. I did the same exact thing with my M3 shift knob. The stock shift knob in my E92 M3 is not that great. It's also very tall, it's also very ugly, so I did those. That's why I went with the F10 M5 shift knob, because I wanted a BMW piece. I wanted something that was weighted a little bit. And what's also nice about the F10 M5 shift knob is the fact that it lights up. So the illuminated shift knob is still here. It's pretty much the same color as the E39, so that's great. It looks proper. It's nice and, it's shorter and it's weighted a little bit. If you guys go check that video out if you want more details on how I installed that shift knob. I paired the F10 M5 shift knob with the short shift kit that's from the E60 BMW. So once again, we're dealing with a BMW piece, BMW hardware, but of course it's not original to this car, which once again I know some guys get a little bit frustrated by, but I thought it was proper. My biggest complaint about this car, at least the daily driving aspect of it, was how tall the stock shift knob is and how not direct it feels. So what happens is it's extremely long and there's a lots of throw. It's like rowing a freaking boat, guys. So I was literally so sick and tired of that feeling. It's just my preference. It's my car, my preference. I wanted to make the shifts noticeably shorter and a little more direct. And actually the E60 short shift kit is very mechanical feeling, so it feels nice. It is a little bit short. I will tell you, it's definitely something to get used to. If you're not used to driving the car with the short shift kit in it, you definitely have to drive it for, a few miles, but I don't think that really differs from any other car that you haven't already driven before. I did both those things. I did the shift knob and I did the short shift kit. I wanted to stay in the BMW realm. Aftermarket, I just didn't really see a point of doing that. The other thing that I did recently, which affects the driving experience, is a clutch, flywheel, and rear main seal. What was happening was when I was getting a little bit hard in the car, I was driving a little bit harder, I would notice that the clutch was slipping. And this car has 126,000 miles on it right now, and it just, for me, even if I were to go sell it or something like that, it didn't feel right to have it where the clutch, in my opinion, and the flywheel were just, on their way out. So you could drive it, but it was hard to drive. It was hard to drive. If you wanted to power around someone, you couldn't really do it. And honestly, just knowing that it needed to be replaced, it just didn't really sit well with me. So if you pair a new clutch and flywheel, I also did the rear main seal since the transmission was off. That was an extra 30 or 40 bucks, and that's something that fails on these cars. So if you're doing the clutch and flywheel, whether you're doing it yourself or you're having a shop do it, definitely have them do the rear main seal. We didn't do anything else, or I guess the shop didn't do anything else when they did the collection flywheel, other than the rear main seal. I didn't really see a need to, but all in it was about 1,600 bucks, and honestly $1,000 of that was parts. So, you know, you can sort of make your judgments that I overpaid or I paid a fair amount, but I think that that was fair given all the M5 community. I was asking around, I was asking buddies who have this car, and they said that that was fair. So one of the real reasons that I want to make this video was because of the fact that the driving experience of this car, in my opinion, is dramatically changed for the better. So since this car is 16 years old, you're gonna be dealing with technology that's a little bit on the older side, whether it's the shifter or the driver's feel or something like that. And to be honest with you, a lot of those things that were put in this car at that time are what make this car great. And a lot of those things that were put in this car at the time are really what make this car great and appreciated, and why there's such a cult following for this car. I totally get it. And that's really why I'm driving this car so much all the time, is I never really expected it. What I'm trying to say is that you're going to be dealing with parts that were designed, you know, over a decade ago, and what happens is you have to fine-tune those things. So a lot of the car is great, but unfortunately something like the shifter, or maybe even suspension, or doing a tune or something like that, it definitely sort of dials in any parts of the car that feel a little bit on the older side. It makes it feel a little more modern, it makes it feel more composed, it makes it just feel more proper, and it makes it feel like a modern car. So doing something like, if you buy one of these cars, doing a shifter, and also doing something like suspension and maybe a tune, I definitely would recommend doing something like that if you get this car. I love the changes that I made, and I just wanted to address those with you guys, so you guys know if you are considering doing anything like this, definitely hit me up, shoot me an email below if you have any questions. I have videos on everything besides the collection flywheel install, because I had a local shop do it. If you're in the West Palm area, just let me know. I had a friend of a friend or something like that had referred me to a shop that he's used on his BMW, so I'll let you know the shop if you're local in the West Palm Beach area, because that's where I'm at. And I think that's it, guys. So I just wanted to cover that quick little topic. I don't normally like to do, you know, just a single topical video like this too frequently, but it was something that I was literally brewing on for a while. So once again, thank you again for watching. Don't forget to comment below if there's any questions or anything that I haven't covered yet in this video, very specific to the driver's feel paired with a tune, sport mode. This car feels really good. So with that said, I'll see you guys next time.